The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is James from Cave Dweller Music. I'm joined by my co-host Brendan. And today we have two members on the show from Forcefed Horsehead, the Norwegian metallic, grindcore, hardcore, whatever you want to call them, band. They do it all. They do it well. Today we're joined by Audun and Patrick. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate you guys taking the time.
Great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Hell yeah.
Anytime. Yeah, happy to have you. So for anyone who isn't familiar with you, your music, any of that, do you want to just maybe tell people what you do in the band, a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about the band?
Sure. I'm Audun. I'm the designated screamer, I guess. Do vocals. Yeah.
Yeah, and Patrick, guitarist, and been with this band from the beginning, writing songs, the same with everybody else, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Right. And the band, how would you sort of define your sound? I mean, a lot of people say a lot of different things. I pick up on grindcore, hardcore, death metal, a whole bunch of stuff. What would you say you play?
I think we just fallen into calling it grind punk for short, just because we never set any boundaries for ourselves about like really what kind of style we were going to sound like, or keep any boundaries for it. Just so when people have been asking, it's grind, it's punk, it's hardcore, it's death metal, but for us I think the term grind punk just evolved from everything.
Yeah, we come from.
That's accurate.
Yeah. More or less. We come from different but same backgrounds musically, I guess, and we try to incorporate some of everything, I guess, from where we come from, or what we like. Yeah.
What is sort of the, I guess, the background of some of the members? Like, were there other bands before this? Was this people's first band, or?
Yeah, the band really came out from another more plain American death metal band called Deject that we started back in 2003, I guess. And after a lot of years with that, the drummer we had at the time, he was leaving, and we got a new drummer, and he had really much more of a hardcore style. So instead of trying to play the old songs with new drummers and go through everything, we really felt like it was time to do something new, and then started Forcefed Horsehead from the ashes of Deject, really.
Okay, no, nice. And who came up with the name?
That was the old drummer. Well, the first drummer in Forcefed Horsehead.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out how the name came into existence and from what, but we can't really remember anymore.
Wherever it came from, it's a fantastic name. Like the second I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, that's a good one." I never would have even thought of that as a band name.
Yes,
Right.
I think it's a really some sort of Cannibal Corpse lyric spin-off type thing from back in the day.
It sounds like. Do you remember that phase? I think it was like 2000 through 2010-ish. There was like that wave of bands, grindcore influenced, like fusion bands with really cool names. It was like Iris with the Bear ones, All the Arsonists Scared All the Girls. Like, I feel like it fits in that sort of realm with that, like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, who was it? The Job for a Cowboy. It came into mind.
Yeah, exactly. Job for a Cowboy as well. Some great band names back in that period.
It was.
And see you next Tuesday.
I was about to mention that. I was like, those guys have a lot of tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
their latest album is killer, though. The latest Tuesday, it's awesome.
Fantastic. We actually have
awesome.
our interview with their vocalist coming out on our site today. He came on the podcast recently.
Nice.
Yeah, super cool dude. And then I don't want to spoil it, but I found out what we were talking about, song titles and names, and I finally got it. But I don't want to spoil it for everybody. But there's an Easter egg on that album's song titles.
Okay. The meaning behind the names and stuff. Yeah, you said you were the first person to figure it out. So
yeah,
gold star.
Yeah.
And then with this album, the album art is just awesome. Really, really unique style. Really cool. Who did the album art on that one?
We have a guy called Remi who is in a small one-man design agency in Norway.
Okay.
So I did the cover art together with him because we used to work a bit together, and we really wanted to do a side project with something really different. And with us needing a cover, we had the chance to go all out and do whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah. And do
It turned out
something
great.
that,
Yeah.
I guess incorporated the sound of the album.
Yeah.
fairly.
So myself, I'm an illustrator, and Remi is mostly an illustrator as well. So we really want to do something that wasn't illustration at all, and the rest of the band was kept in the dark. So we didn't reveal anything until the cover art was done.
Okay.
So
Is that a physical piece?
yeah, it's a physical piece.
That's cool.
We built a skull with some clay stuff and just smeared it with food stuff and coffee grain and dirt and stuff, and put it in a box, left it to rot for 3 months, and then had Remi's girlfriend, who's a photographist, take the photos of it. So it's really it's no gimmick, it's no effects and stuff. It's just a photograph of the sculpture that's been rotting.
That's very
That's
cool.
so cool.
Really cool. That's that could be like in an art show somewhere in like a gallery or museum.
Yeah,
Right?
it smells.
Yeah. Doesn't smell too good, I think.
Oh,
You'd have to-
yeah.
have to be in a
You probably have
glass
to
case. Yeah, in a glass case, airtight case or something.
encase it in some like acrylic or something like that, you know?
Well, we tried actually to lacquer it a couple of times, but it just keeps growing.
Oh.
That's wild. Someone's
Yeah.
gonna find it like 100 years from now and being like, "Oh my god, where
Yeah,
was it?"
it's left in the basement in Oslo right now.
The archaeologist's going to freak out about that one.
Yeah.
And this album, was this released on a label? Or was this independent?
Sort of both, I guess. We have like a weird type label in the Czech Republic called Owlripper.
Yeah, we know them well. We
Yes.
know the guy behind the label.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy and releases a lot of cool stuff. So he's been helping out like for the digital promotion, I guess. But it's more or less self-released with
Yeah.
some help from him.
Yeah. So the digital release we agreed to do through him, and doing promotion and stuff together, and getting a lot of help from him. So it's a really good job from him. And then all the physical stuff we do ourselves, and the same with the recording and everything. So yeah.
Nice. And then you worked with Viral Propaganda PR to help push the album out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is awesome and good at what he does and fair in price, I guess. So
Yeah,
that was a no-brainer to ask them.
yeah, I would agree. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah, really satisfied.
That's
So
definitely great.
with the new album, would you say that you kind of had any influence from any other bands? Is there anything that kind of stood out to you, like we should do something like that, or was it just very natural? Kind of, we just play it. This sounds good.
I think natural. It came about like fairly organic, I think.
Mhm.
Well, of course, we're inspired by different things, as many others are, but I don't think we went into it like we want to sound or do something like someone else necessarily.
Right.
But that's a good thing. People hear different things, different bands in the album, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
Like we've been compared to a lot of strange things
Yeah.
that we've never really thought we sounded like.
No, we're compiling a list at the moment with all the bands being mentioned.
Yeah.
What's the most outrageous one that you've been told?
You shouldn't really think it was that outrageous, but I think the context was really threw us off a bit, because the last song I think it was on the album, and then there were none, which is really long and slow and heavy, was compared to Napalm Death.
Okay.
So not a bad band to be compared to, but for that song I found it a bit odd.
Yeah.
But otherwise it's nothing too bad.
Yeah, we've been called grunge, which
Okay. Yeah, I don't pick up on that.
it's probably because there's like, God forbid, some clean vocals and like 5 seconds on the album, and then that's like it's straight to grunge, I guess. For some, it's weird.
Audun's not the big Pearl Jam dude, so we had a hard time making him do that kind of vocals. So yeah.
You don't want to be Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, I can love me some Eddie Vedder.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm preparing this one for my dad someday. A dad joke is whenever anyone talks about Pearl Jam, it's always say it doesn't get any better than that.
Hey.
My favorite's when anyone mentions corn, and I'm like, it just gets stuck in my teeth though.
Hey.
He will use that one a lot, almost every podcast episode where they're mentioned. So
That's good.
So outside of your music, has there been anything that stood out to you guys so far in 2023? I mean, it's been a big year. Brendan and I have a lot of stuff that we love. What are you guys listening to?
There's been lots of good albums in fairly short amount of time. I really love the Zulu album, A New Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was awesome. See You Next Tuesday was good. There's a Danish band called Ice. Congratulations. It's one of the vocalists from LLNN, if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah. I love that band.
It's more like, I guess, a bit more in the Dillinger Escape Plan direction, I guess. Like chaotic, hardcore, mathy stuff. It's very good.
Right. They did that really, really good album, Unmaker. 2021, I think, something like that.
Yeah, it was my fave.
That's awesome.
So I still listen to it.
Yeah, very good.
And Low came out with a new album now. Sounds really good.
Yeah.
The
Oh, they
Australian-
did?
Yeah, just out now.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look. Let me check.
2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
so.
fairly recent.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, really cool.
Very good. How about you guys? What's been spinning?
I've been listening to Portrayal of Guilt, Devil Music,
Okay.
and a real fun band, Bonginator.
Bonging it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they do a really good job of like, oh man, it's just like slammy style, kind of like death metal. I don't know, it's really good. But they just released an album called The Intergalactic Gore Bong of Death Pot. And it's hilarious because their first album, it's these concepts, and basically they took Bonginator, right? And they took Terminator, the story of Terminator, John Connor and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just their version of that with these bonginators. So like you have to save weed and go like destroy the bonginators who like basically took all the weed and all that. And then it's insane.
So it's a concept
really
album of sorts.
It's oh man. Yeah, they're on all the fun streaming sites and stuff. So 100% worth checking out if you like a good laugh and a story. It's so heavy you want to listen to it, but then you're like with a song like, oh, dude, it's just so it's funny and it's just gargantuan. So I don't know, it's great. Good listen.
Yeah, cool. We'll check that out. Sounds interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
My listening stuff's been like I listen to a weird blend of stuff. So like on one side, on the metal side, I've been listening to Thanatomas, a Russian band that did like a Sarcophago worship album, like from their first album, Inri, super raw, really good. Been listening to that new Drain album. Have you guys heard that one yet?
Yeah, it's awesome.
A lot of fun. Like stupidly fun album.
Yeah.
And then it caught me out of nowhere, but yes, the prog rock band from the 70s released a new album. Like a couple of days ago. Yeah, May 19th. And it's the best thing they've done since the 70s by far.
Wow.
I'm gonna check it out later today. I'm driving.
Definitely do. They got a new they were smart, so they got a new vocalist. because a lot of those older bands, like you see, like the guys can still play, but the vocalists can't hit the notes anymore. But the guy they found sounds a lot like the original vocalist, just like a little less nasally, but very similar. And yeah, they brought it. Great album.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then outside of metal, I've been listening to a lot of like blues and folk stuff. There's a guy I discovered recently called Early James who sounds a lot like Tom Waits if he had a smoother voice, like less gravelly.
Yeah.
And then this woman called she goes by Cinderwell is her project name. It's this really stripped back like depressive folk stuff. And there's a lot here, I'm sorry, but one more is just have to give a shout out to this dude, but he's from Indonesia called Mud Spencer. Solo guy that just makes these like 15-minute psychedelic songs on like feedback loops. It's stuff to really, really cool.
A bit more in the noise territory, kind of.
Not noise. It's like super like ambient and like really like he has like really clean, crisp tone psychedelic guitar, but he plays it like there's just really repetitive loops of the same riffs and hooks. So it's kind of like hypnotic, a little bit like you lose track of time type thing. And then the songs go for like 15 minutes. So it feels like a really long time, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
guys
that.
Have any of you heard the new Carnate yet?
No.
That one's like, I heard that yesterday. That album is crazy. Do you guys know the band?
No, I don't think so, actually.
They're from New York. They're like I don't even know how to describe them. They're like a blend of like
Incarnate?
What's that? Sorry.
Incarnate?
No, Carnate. It's like a Khanate.
Oh yeah. No, I have heard that. I'm sorry, I was thinking about a different one. I have.
Oh, that's okay. It's a side
on
project from
Bandcamp
Sun O.
too, all that stuff.
Yeah. It's just like a side project from Sun O, members of Sun O.
Oh yeah.
And it's the new album is literally gives you an anxiety attack. It's like it makes you physically uncomfortable, and it's really well done.
It's good to have the Indonesian dude afterwards that you can calm you down.
Exactly, yeah, calm you down. They do this like thing I haven't heard it before, where it's like the songs are really long, so it's like what is it, 19 to 22 minutes in length each song, and they take segments from the previous song and then splice it in random points into the next song. So you get like this weird deja vu feeling like, wait, I heard this song already. Am I listening to the wrong track? And it throws your brain off.
Yeah, go check it.
Yeah, very cool.
Good tips.
Brendan, I know you have some kind of fun non-music related questions you want to ask.
Yeah. What is your favorite city to eat and drink when you're on tour?
Favorite city to eat and drink while on tour? Let's see. I'm actually a big fan of Berlin, though. It's a good cultural city, I guess. There's always lots to do there. Good venues, good people, and good food and drinks. I would say Berlin. How about you?
Yeah, I haven't been out touring that much, and not been traveling that much either. So I don't know. Not really into any specific type of food and drink. So as long as it's good beer and or wine and some decent food, I'm happy.
Nice. What are your favorite places locally then?
Let's see. What's a good city in Norway? I guess Bergen. It's fairly good. It's always raining. It's like raining 360 days a year, but it's a good city. Beautifully located between the mountains, very Norwegian, I guess.
Yeah.
And Trondheim, a bit further north, is also a good place. Good people.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a little place just in between cities that's called Råde, and they have a really good burger.
Nice.
But it's like 50 meters big place. It's just drive through. Not the burger shop, but the place Råde.
Gotcha. Hell yeah. What's your guys' favorite venue to play?
I guess nowadays there's before the pandemic and all that, there was a new place in Oslo called Vaterland that opened up. It's like a pizza slash metal slash hardcore venue type thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's run by awesome guys, good pizza, and good venue, and always a good crowd. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's my favorite, at least here in the city.
Yeah, really good place to eat and check out gigs. And they're starting to book some really decent bands as well.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we played with Gate Creeper there last year, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice, very
And,
cool.
and they're going to have Full of Hell is coming there this autumn, I think.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. I saw Full Hell a couple times. Once recently. They were it's always a good show, man. Intense.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, they do a great show.
Yeah, cool. It's a good band.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
that
what's
place
your
is a good venue in Oslo for any band. Coming here to play. At least in the hard genres.
Yeah, it's nice to have like a venue or like promoter that likes to have the get those bands out there. It's cool because internationally, because like music digitally is very easy to travel internationally, but then like some bands, you're like, well, I gotta pick up for a month and go out and do this and like let's go, so
for sure.
Our local venue in San Diego, if you ever tour to the US, is called Brick by Brick. It's where all the heavier bands play.
Cool. Is that a larger venue or a smaller one, or?
It's like for like an underground extreme metal venue, it's a decent size. It's like this really big shed in the industrial part of town. And it kind of feels like a basement show because of the shape of the shed. It's like very flat, low ceiling. And then the bar's like right in the middle, and you got the merch stands in the back. So yeah, it's good. It has a very like basement show, extreme metal venue feel.
What type, what's some fairly famous bands from San Diego in the metal hardcore genre?
Biggest one these days is probably Cattle Decapitation.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
they're huge.
They're 16s from that way.
Oh
yeah,
I love it.
If you listen to Author and Punisher, industrial stuff, he's one of the biggest guys in the US industrial scene right now. He's from San Diego.
Yeah, sure. They're playing Norway, or just did, I think, Author and Punisher.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, if you get a chance to see them, definitely do. He's super cool. I caught him live, I think, a month ago. The equipment he brings on stage, because he's an electrical engineer, builds his own custom equipment.
Awesome.
So the stuff he brings with him is crazy. Like just these weird inventions that you never see anywhere else.
Like a mad scientist type.
Yeah, literally. He has these like big sliding grids with like sliding panels that have strings attached, and he'll slam them down this massive runway to the end, and it makes this huge like hydraulic shifting sound with a massive drum bang at the end. I don't know how to even describe it. It's really cool. If you go on YouTube, you can see he has a bunch of videos of him playing it.
Oh, cool. Check that out.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys? What are some local bands where you're from that, I mean, obviously we have the bigger ones from Oslo, but what are some local bands that people may not know that we should check out?
First one that comes to mind is a band called Shaving the Werewolf.
Speaking of name.
Yeah. They're fairly doing their own thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Very charismatic frontman. He's awesome. They're awesome dudes. We've done a couple of shows with them, so shout out to them. They're in a bit of a mathcore-ish landscape, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's Grinding Fortune is good.
Yeah.
Audun. It's chaotic hardcore with some doom elements, converge type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like frosty northern Norway hardcore, I guess. Very chaotic and sinister, but good guys.
Yeah, really good.
There's a lot of really good underground bands in Oslo, actually, or the Norwegian scene that deserves to be heard. So,
Hell yeah.
so we're not only black metal infused, I guess.
Yeah, at the moment it's I think it's really much more than just the black metal scene, which I don't really see the black metal scene in Oslo and Norway as underground. It's so in the harder genres and the hardcore stuff and so on. It's a lot of really good bands playing right now.
Yeah.
There's I also noticed there's a massive Norwegian like stoner and psychedelic rock scene that's developed in the last 10 years or so that's blowing up.
Yeah, it's every other band is playing doom or stoner stuff at the moment. It feels like.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I like seeing it because some of the stuff that's coming out of there is really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they started the festival some years back in Oslo, which has really been growing and growing since, and it's really come to be an important festival in Oslo the recent years.
Yeah, it's in an old like church. They've transformed into a venue. So I don't know if any of you guys have been to Europe or to Roadburn, maybe.
I've heard of it, yes.
Have you been?
I have not. No, I've heard a lot about it. I know people that have been, but I have not.
Yeah, it's kind of a mini version of Roadburn, I guess, like a very bong-oriented bands.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had some really good. I think Amen Ra has been playing there. It was really good, and it's starting to be a really set festival in Oslo.
What was the name? Sorry, I lost you for a second there.
Of the festival?
Mm-hmm.
It's called Høstsabbat.
Okay.
So it's the autumn Sabbath, really.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they have shows both in it's as Audun said, it's an old church. They've been repurposed for cultural stuff.
Yeah.
And they use both the church as a big venue, and they also have the crypt underneath, using that for gigs as well. So yeah, really worth checking out if you're in Oslo this autumn.
I'd love to be, but I don't see myself being there, unfortunately. I've actually never been to Europe before, so I'll be in the UK for the first time in June, and that'll be my first time in that part of the world.
Awesome.
Cool.
For the holidays or doing anything?
For a lesbian wedding in a castle in Ireland, actually.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool reason to go.
Yeah.
You bring your armor and your sword.
Yeah, if the US Customs allows me to travel with it.
Exactly.
Not since 9/11.
Yeah.
What about food places in Oslo? Are there any local spots that we should hit up if we're there, like that are unique or at least iconic?
Yeah, Vaterland, as we talked about, is a really good food place because they have awesome pizza as well as good music on the speakers while eating.
I guess it's not you won't get like Norwegian cuisine here as much.
No.
It's mostly American, I guess, and Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the most part, but there's some awesome places though. But I can't name drop like any specific at the moment. But you'll get good food there. For sure.
It's a lot of good food, but not Norwegian cuisine, I guess, because. Can't really see what that is other than food being boiled for a long time. So, I think the Norwegian cuisine is it comes from food shortage back in the day, so it's really using everything for everything and boiling it just to eat it.
A lot of pickling too, right?
Yeah, not so much.
Not too much, no.
Oh, okay.
More boiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's boiled. Everything is brown and boiled.
Yeah.
So. Delicious.
Probably comes from making food outdoors in the bad weather. So you start a fire and try to make some food, and then it just ends up boiled anyway.
Are there any like I don't know, modern sort of like takes on Norwegian cuisine that are happening in the country? Like, or is it very much like people just kind of do it traditionally?
I think there are, but it's more like the Michelin type places, which
Okay.
would cost you your house and like year's salary
Yeah,
to eat.
Yeah.
Get 2 centimeters of meat and half a potato for
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah.
So I
They're
guess
like
there are, but I've
oxtail
never
stew,
eaten.
and it's got a piece of asparagus and 3 peas in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And
always been much more of a fan of hole-in-the-wall traditional family-style places than those fancy upmarket, like one-bite places.
Yeah, man.
yeah, at least in Oslo, the food thing is being it's a lot of really high-end places, but at the same time, you don't get traditional Norwegian food isn't high-end. So what you get is fish stuff and seafood really
Okay.
made really expensive, and that's it. So if you want Norwegian, traditional Norwegian cuisine, I think it's around Christmas. Everybody eats the Christmas type of food. That's Norwegian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Norwegian Christmas food?
It's boiled.
Boiled again?
It's a lot of lamb meat.
Lamb, pig, like a lot of pork and potatoes. So it's carbs, fat, all the thing you had left over after the year.
A lot of fish though. It's lutefisk. It's like fermented fish with bacon and boiled potatoes. Yeah.
But the bacon is supposed to be crisp though.
Yeah. It's not boiled.
Good. I was about to ask, was the bacon boiled? 'Cause I don't know if I can handle that.
I don't think that can be bacon anymore.
I think the most famous Norwegian dish is probably what we call smalahove. It's like a sheep's head.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but that's what everyone thinks we're wearing corpse paint and riding around on polar bears. It's not like we eat sheep's head every day either.
No.
But you can get it if you want though.
Yeah.
It's fairly good actually, and you eat the ice as well. So
Yeah, there's a couple places that will, do that with the pig's head, the sheep's head, or cow's head too, get all the meat out of it. And some people like to eat that stuff.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah.
Some people love the eyes. Like I spent a bunch
I've
of time.
had face meat.
Yeah, I've had face meat. I haven't had the eyes. I spent a bunch of time in Southeast Asia, and whenever you were a guest somewhere or like a dinner guest or anything, the honor would be to eat the eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it, man.
I didn't do it, but I got offered it they just have to offer it to you first to be polite every time.
Yeah, would be weird going around asking for it.
Yeah.
Are you having that?
But face meat would be a good grindcore band name.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
You guys should save that one as a side project name.
Yeah. The Norwegian
Force-fed horsehead meat.
boiled face meat.
We have it on recording that you guys came up with it, so it's yours.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Watch out for that album by Face Meat coming out.
Oh, that's
Brendan,
awesome.
you got any more questions?
I was going to ask him who inspired you to, I guess a two-parter, but play guitar and do vocals.
For the guitar, well, I grew up listening to Guns N' Roses when I was younger, so I think the first kind of really getting into guitar was Slash, and then afterwards it was Slayer and Pantera when I was younger, so it was a Dimebag and Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King type of thing, and then afterwards, been the more I get into, the more I like, and so you stop going away from really persons into just liking bands and the sounds and picking up as much as you go. But as I think I'm privileged to have grown up when I have, and have people like the Mastodon guys, early Gojira stuff inspiring, and of course listening a lot to Trap Them, All Pigs Must Die, that kind of thing.
Dude, I love Trap Them.
Big Destroyer, and so a lot of different stuff.
For me, I guess he's from the Guns N' Roses road, and I would say I'm from the Metallica road. It's a quick way from there to like the first extreme bands I got into, I guess, extreme in some shape or form was Fear Factory, I guess.
Nice.
Early Fear Factory. I love that shit in the 90s, Type of Negative stuff, and I guess it evolved into more hardcore things naturally, I guess. Like, I love the organic, stripped down vocals, like Sick of It All does fairly good stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm more from that kind of 90s hardcore school. But
I love
I just scream and try to make it sound like I mean it, you know. So, but I can't like pinpoint one vocalist or two that I necessarily like are inspired by. I guess it's a lot of people. So
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That's awesome. Yeah, there's good taste in the old hardcore, man. I love that.
yeah, still love Sick of It All though. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's like kind of where I grew up too. You know, with a lot of that.
Yeah, but I guess the first like lyric wise and screaming wise that I really got into was you know, Shai Hulud or Shai.
Yeah.
I love those guys. So I guess that would be probably one of my biggest inspirations from back in the days, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So very pompous type lyrics, but an awesome band.
And a great name, named after June.
Yeah, for sure. That would be my answer, I guess.
Yeah. And that'll wrap it up for me.
Great. But we got a couple more, not too many, and then we'll let you guys get going. One would be if you could tour with any band. You can answer this in two ways if you want. Any band you like. One is like a reasonable, like, yeah, we could totally see ourselves doing that. And two is like whoever you want. Who would you like to tour with?
Dream Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
So one reasonable and one just
Whatever you
dream-
want.
Yeah. I guess our answer would vary a bit, but I guess both like dream-wise, and I could see that happening sometime down the road. Hopefully, it would be Converge. I guess would be awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But and dream-wise, for my own sake, would be Propaganda from Canada. I really love those guys, but it wouldn't be a good fit like music-wise. But Propaganda is it's awesome. I like them.
Great band.
Yeah, I think Converge would be a really good fit for us. That wouldn't be too far off. But I think for my dream tour, it would be touring up with the Armed and Dillinger Escape Plan. I think that would be some crazy stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
then
so-
I just want to bring it back to what we were talking about before we started recording, because you said some really interesting stuff about how you recorded the album with the drums.
Oh, and hunting witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we never got there on the recording, so we were just chatting, but I think people would like to know that story.
Yeah, well, we were in studio recording Dø, and it just came to us at the end of the recording because we had a really good drum sound in that studio, really good acoustic drum sound. So we really wanted to do something more with it. And then Magnus, who used to play drums earlier and played on the Dø and on the Hunting Witches, he went into the studio room after recording, and together with Arve, who's the bassist. And Arve brought his stopwatch, and then Magnus just started playing, and they took the time, and around 1 minute, he gave a sign to stop playing. So he did, and then did that around for 12, 13 times. And that was really the start of the songs. Then sat down and made everything with the guitars and stuff later. So backward process on the whole song making stuff. But it came out really, it was fun to do because it's, I don't know how to say, it just came out with a lot of surprises and a lot of stuff you really can't plan when making songs with just having to arrange the guitars outwards.
Yeah, very interesting. Very cool.
It came out great.
It was fun to do. Cool concept type of thing to do. So as I told you guys before the recording, it's it's always fun to hear what people think of it, and because we really don't see it as an Forcefed Horsehead album. It's just the kind of concept thing we did for fun, but it came out fun.
Yeah, like I said, I was listening to it this morning, and I was just like, "Oh wow, this is great!" I pumped it down like a couple times because it's all 12 minutes, 13 tracks. It's just like slammed real quick, but it felt like it was longer. It was great.
Yeah, thanks. And it really is, some of the songs really have some pieces to it that would be really cool to keep working on and see if we could take with us into new songs as well, because I really like some of the parts of it, and feel like it's a bit going to waste on so short songs. So we'll see what we can do in the future.
Nice.
Very cool. I have 2 more questions for you then.
Sure.
One is going to put you on the spot a little bit, which is, if you were stranded on an island and you had a solar-powered Discman and 3 CDs to keep you going until you got rescued, what would those 3 albums be?
Shit, man. Wow. For my sake, I guess, again, Propaganda's Supporting Cast album. I would say, shit, this is hard, man.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I'm sorry.
We'll get there eventually. Converge, No Heroes, I guess.
All right.
Would be the last one. Say A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory, I guess, to even out
Nice.
the other stuff.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think it would be, for me, A Dawn to Fair by Cult of Luna, and Ultra Pop, the live version from The Armed, and Nothing Violates This Nature by All Pigs Must Die. Because I kind of am listening to all those albums around and around at the moment anyway.
Nice.
Can I visit Patrick on his island? His albums?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
I eventually want to try and make a playlist of everybody's that we've been asking this.
Yeah, we should
Think
actually
it'd be
do that.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, All Pigs Must Die. I need to really revisit that band. I've heard like bits
They're
and
great.
pieces, but I've never really like sat down and listened to the whole discography, which I think I'm missing out on some stuff not doing that.
Last one I remember that sticks out in my mind, and I could be wrong. The Octagonal something Hallway or something like that.
I don't think that's an album title, though, but it might be a song.
Maybe. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I just looked it up. There's only 3 albums, which is Hostage Animal, Nothing Violates This Nature, and God is War.
Yeah,
And then
I
4
might be thinking,
4 EPs.
yeah.
what am I thinking of?
I think a different band.
I think it might be similar band, maybe. Oh no. Now I have to look it up.
Anyway, the last question I have for you guys is just, if people want to listen to your music, buy copies of your music, merch, anything like that, or follow you on social media, what are the best places to do all of that?
I guess if you want to buy stuff, if you want to pre-order the vinyl for Monoceros, which is coming out, then yeah, somewhere in June, shipped out during July. It's Bandcamp, I guess, for merch and physical copies. We have the future medium cassette tape available as well.
Advanced technology.
Yeah, it's very, very modern. And it's always like Instagram and Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time, and it's great chatting with you. And if you do another album in the next year or whatever, 2 years, just hit us up. We'd love to have you back on to talk about that.
Yeah.
Sure, it's been really good to be here.
Yeah, we'll be on with Face in half a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for having us. It was awesome chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, and thanks to everyone listening at home, and tune in next week. We'll have another guest for you.